Computers have become increasingly powerful over the years. They've changed the way we work, the games we play, even how we communicate. We've discovered that computers become much more powerful when they're linked to networks. By connecting people in distant locations, networks have dramatically increased the exchange of information and ideas and fostered new ways of working together.
To illustrate the power of the computer as a communications tool, I'm talking with you today from home on one of the first internet video phones. The first networks were local area networks, or LANs, that linked computers within one office or school. Then wide area networks, or WANs, linked computers in different cities, states, or countries.
But there was another even bigger network evolving. Since 1969, people around the world have been communicating through a huge network developed by the United States government. It was called ARPANET, for Advanced Research Projects Agency Network. It was really a network of networks, and it required obscure commands and addresses. You could only type in words, there were no pictures, graphics, or clickable buttons, and it was used primarily by scientists and engineers.
Then, in the early 1990s, programmers developed new ways to navigate around this network. New software tools allowed you to point and click your way to the information you wanted. The circle of people using the internet expanded beyond the scientific and engineering communities. It grew very fast and very large, creating what some have called the information superhighway.
Using internet applications like the World Wide Web, people began sending images, voices, even video over their networks. Computers were linked, the power was evident. They'd never be unlinked again.
Traffic is a bear today, but hey, that's okay, because a crowded freeway will give you a good idea of how traffic flows or how it doesn't flow on a computer network. Now, the first thing that I need you to understand is that when information moves along a network, it doesn't come in just one shipment. Instead, the message is divided into packets. These packets are like the cars on our network highway. As it's loaded, each packet immediately speeds off with its part of the message. The on-ramp for many network highways is a computer modem. That's short for modulator-demodulator. The modem takes the computer's digital information and converts it into a form that can travel over telephone lines. Routers are the traffic network reporters. Now, these routers can determine the fastest path for each packet and also help it to avoid network traffic jams. Now, what's interesting is these packets that travel in the same message, they can travel on completely different roads. It's only after the packets reach the correct network off-ramp, your modem, and make it into your computer that they're reassembled into the original message and displayed on your screen. Now, imagine if you gave each of your friends part of a message and sent them across town to reassemble it. Do you think they'd ever get it back together again? And would it be in the right order? That's the network traffic story from here, Annette.
Hope you make it to your next assignment, Brahman. Now that you know how information travels on a network, let's look at what slows things down. Okay, first you need to understand that data comes in different sizes. Each of these balls represents a data packet. The small balls hold only letters and numbers. The large balls hold things like graphics, video, or audio. They're bigger because they require a lot more bits of information. Obviously, they also require a lot more carrying capacity or bandwidth from the network. These pipes represent a range of different network connections. Most home computers are connected to regular phone lines with a modem. Modems are rated by their speed, which is measured in bits per second, or BPS. The higher the number, the faster you can send and receive information. Early network connections were about this size. Modems and fax machines both transmitted at a speed of 9,600 bits per second. That was fine if you just wanted to send a trickle of letters and numbers. But a video file? Forget it. It would take too long. A 28/8 modem is like this pipe. If you squeeze a text packet, you can push it through. That's called compression. When it reaches the other end, it decompresses. Many files actually go through this compression-decompression process. With a bit more compression, you can even send large video and graphics packets, and they come out just fine. That brings us to our digital connections. An ISDN line has a much greater bandwidth than a standard phone line. It's a pipe like this. Small packets fly through it. while more complex packets slide through it smoothly, even without compression. An even faster kind of digital connection is the dedicated T1 line. It can handle over 1.5 megabits of data per second, more than 50 times as much as a 28.8 modem. That's baskets full of data. As network bandwidth increases, we'll be able to send even larger, more complex files. Networking provides a host of opportunities for working together, but it also forces us to take on new responsibilities. Keep in mind, no one monitors the content on the Internet. It's up to you to judge the quality of information you receive. As a member of a virtual community, you'll have access to exciting new worlds. Use the tool wisely, and everyone will benefit.